To make the pastry, slice the vanilla pod in half. Then scrape out all of the seeds and discard the pod. Place the flour in a mixing bowl and add the icing sugar and the butter. Then add the vanilla seeds. Mix the ingredients together using your hands until the mixture resembles fine breadcrumbs. Now make a well in the centre of the mixture and then crack one whole egg into it. To make the dough, break up the egg with your fingers and mix the ingredients together, using your hand until they begin to form a dough. Dust the work surface lightly with flour, place the dough on the flour and begin kneading the mixture. After a few minutes, the dough will become smooth, but be careful not to overmix as the dough will become too hard. Now wrap the dough in cling film. And place in a fridge to rest and cool for at least 1 hour. To make the pie, first remove the pastry from the fridge and remove the cling film. Lightly dust the work surface with flour and then knead the pastry for about 30 seconds to make it nice and smooth again. Begin to roll out the pastry until it is 3 to 4 millimeters thick, making sure that you turn it and flour it occasionally. Now roll the pastry over your rolling pin like this, and then unroll it over your fluted tart tin. Make sure you press the pastry into the corners of the tin using your fingers. Roll the rolling pin over the top of the tin to cut away the excess pastry. Place the tart in the fridge for about an hour before we cook the pastry. Remove the tart from the fridge after an hour and cut a sheet of greaseproof paper larger than the tart tin. Then fold the paper into a triangle and then again into a smaller triangle. Measure the paper to fit your tin and cut off any excess paper, making sure you cut slits in the end of the paper, like this. Now add the baking beans and cook the pastry in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 4 for 15 to 20 minutes. After 15 to 20 minutes, remove from the oven. Remove the greaseproof paper and beans, then put the pastry back in the oven for 5 more minutes. After 5 minutes, remove the pastry. It should now be dry and firm to touch. To make the frangipane, place the icing sugar and butter in a large mixing bowl and cream them together using a silicone spatula. Now crack 1 egg into a small bowl and beat it with a fork. Split the egg into 2 equal halves, putting 1 half into a jug and discarding the other half. Crack 2 eggs into the jug and beat the eggs together with a fork. Now, gradually add the beaten eggs into the creamed butter and sugar, beating the mixture as you go. Continue to mix until you have a soft, fluffy cream mixture. Now, add the almonds and flour and mix them together. Slice the pear halves like this. Fill the tart with the Frangipane mix and spread it out using a step palette knife. Now add the pears and cook the tart in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 4 for about 20 to 30 minutes. To make the syllabub, pour the Marsala into a saucepan along with the sugar. Add the cinnamon stick and turn the heat to high. Stir together and allow it to boil for 1 minute, then turn off the heat and leave it to cool. After the tart has cooked, remove it from the oven and allow it to cool. Once it has cooled, remove it from the tart tin, leaving the base on. Now combine the cream and Marsala mix by mixing them together in a mixing bowl, but be sure to leave the cinnamon stick in the pan. Whisk it well until it becomes a soft, creamy mixture. Pour the water into a medium saucepan and add the apricot jam and sugar. Turn the heat to medium and bring to the boil, stirring occasionally. Boil the mixture for 2 minutes until all the jam has dissolved and you have a syrup consistency. Finally, strain the glaze through a sieve and then brush the tart with the glaze using a pastry brush before serving.